Hi everyone, it's EngS. Today we're taking a look at chapter 5 of And Then There Were None. In chapter 5, the tension doesn't go away after the shock. If anything, it settles even more deeply into the house. What makes this chapter so interesting is that the fear becomes quieter. The guests are not just reacting as a group anymore. Now, we start to see what happens when each person is left alone with their own thoughts. And that really changes the feeling of the story. The house doesn't just feel tense now, it feels closed, watchful, and deeply unsettling. One thing to really notice in chapter 5 is the shift from public reaction to private fear. Earlier, we saw how people responded in front of each other. But in this chapter, we start to see what is happening underneath all of that. The characters are not just speaking to one another anymore. They are also dealing with memory, guilt, unease, and suspicion on their own. And that matters because fear doesn't always show up in dramatic ways. Sometimes it shows up in silence, in sleeplessness, and in the thoughts people just can't escape. Another important part of chapter 5 is the growing sense that small details may matter more than they seem to at first. Things that once felt strange, decorative, or easy to dismiss begin to feel more connected and more disturbing. That changes the way we read the story. We are not just asking what happened anymore. We are also starting to ask whether there is a pattern and whether the people in the house are beginning to feel it too. That is what gives this chapter its quiet power. The fear is not just around the characters now, it is starting to shape the way they think. Today's book mission. First, think about this. What feels more frightening in chapter 5? What the characters already know, or what they are only beginning to suspect? Second, pay attention to the characters' private thoughts. What do those thoughts reveal? Do they show fear, guilt, denial, or something else? Third, think about the small details in this chapter. At what point do they stop feeling harmless and start to feel threatening? Enjoy chapter 5, and I'll see you in the next video.